5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining our Black Junior Golf Podcast. Man, we've got some special guests that's going to be coming on the podcast tonight. And of course, you know, they're going to be actually speaking from experience. We got a mother-daughter team that's going to be coming on the podcast, and I've got some questions, and I'm sure they're going to be able to give you some really some real life experiences about junior golf, about what it takes, and parenting and the whole nine. So just again, want to thank everybody for tuning into our live podcast. We are going to have a section at the end of the podcast where everybody can ask questions to our special guests. And so we are all set and ready to go. So I want to bring up my guest for this evening. She is none other than the mother of McKenzie Mack, the great junior extraordinary golfer. And so I want to bring up none other than Miss Jean Jackson. How you doing, Miss Jackson?
Fine, thank you. Almost lost me for a minute.
Hey, listen, thank you for joining us on the podcast tonight. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
Good. Well, listen, before we get right into the podcast, and we'll bring McKenzie on in just a minute or two. Before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, again, my name is Jean Jackson. I'm a Jersey girl, but I've been living in Las Vegas for the past 40 years. Okay. I've been a teacher, U.S. Air Force, school psychologist, dean of students, principal for 17 years. I've been retired for 12 years, divorced for 42 years, just kidding. But I am divorced, 2 lovely children, and I'm 43 years old.
I know, right?
I said what I said.
I know, right? and you meant it, right? Well, listen, that's awesome. And so I guess the first question I want to ask you before we get right into it is, you know, how did you get McKenzie in the game of golf?
Well, I think I want to say I just loved golf my whole life, and it's what I didn't know what golf was. I'm from New Jersey, didn't know that golf was a real sport. However, once I realized that I was going to be a single mom, I had to figure out, how can I get these kids to college? I'm gonna have to figure something out. So I put them in every sport to find out what they like and what liked them. Okay. That's very important. We tried ballet, we tried gymnastics, we did piano, we did violin, we did soccer, we did basketball, we did everything. And I think what happened was, you know, I realized you start weeding things out. When the soccer coach says, does your daughter have any speed except slow? So we crossed soccer off. We knew that probably wasn't going to be our thing. And we were sitting on the couch watching gymnastics, and the announcer said, that gymnast is one of the biggest in the sport. She's 5'2", 80 pounds. And I'm looking at my 7-year-old next to me who's already 80 pounds. So we crossed gymnastics off. And, you know, the next thing was every activity we went in turned into a mommy and me. I'm working 10 hours a day. Yeah. Mommy and me, I was just too tired. So I would complain at every event we went to. Finally, there was a mother sitting next to me and said, listen, my husband is the pro at the local golf course. Why don't they play golf? And then she said the magic words, you don't have to participate. They were in golf the next day, 6 and 7 years old, in golf the next day. And that was it. It's just a matter of convenience and a matter of mom just being too tired to be in a mommy and me class. Right.
Now let me ask you this. When did you know that McKenzie was going to be something special at the game of golf?
Okay, so when I enrolled them in the class, for 1 whole year, I promise you, I never saw them hit a ball. Wow. While they were in the back practicing and playing, I had my feet up in the car, taking a nap. And just one day, the teacher knocked on the window and said, you know, they really should be playing on days other than the days that they come to me. Wow. You should be taking them to the course. I'm like, oh my God, mommy and me all over again. But I did, took them to the course. And that was the first time I'd ever seen both of my kids hit.
Right.
And they were amazing.
Wow.
I'm thinking, really? You guys are really learning something back there? They were amazing. And that's when I knew that they had something special and golf was our sport.
That's good. That's good. So talk to us a little bit about your experience as a golf mom. What was that like? Well, I mean, were you the mom that, you went to every tournament, or, what was your experience like as a golf mom?
I went to every tournament. I went to every practice. I went to everything. But let me say this before I tell you going to the practice. We took lessons together for a year because
really?
I really did not know anything about golf. When they said pick up the putter, I didn't know what a putter was. So really, while I was taking them, I didn't know what I was looking at. Right. So we took golf lessons for a year. So at least, and this is my first tip to the parents, learn the game. Wow. You don't have to be Tiger Woods. You don't have to play, but you need to be, you need to know the language. You need to know the vocabulary. You need to know when they're practicing, if their feet are right. Are they swinging right? And if you don't know the game, they look at you crazy. You know how kids like, she don't know.
Now, Ms. Jackson, I got to tell you this. Sometimes even when you know the game, they don't like to listen too.
And then there's my other tip to the parents.
Yes.
there are basically three types of parents. And in leadership, it's the same thing. It's autocratic, democratic, or laissez-faire. Autocratic, I'm the mother.
Right.
I don't really care what you think. Democratic, well, let's talk about it. Laissez-faire, I don't care. Just, I'm going to sit under the tree. Well, I'm an autocratic mom. So it's like, I said your feet are wrong. You need to fix your feet. Wow. We're not going to discuss it. When I turn my back, you may turn the feet again. But while I'm looking, right. I need for your feet to be this way. And I think parents need to understand. They need to be strong.
Right. And
how are you going to let a 10-year-old tell you what he thinks is right? Really? Right. Is that what we're doing?
Right. That is so right. Because I mean, so many times I'll tell my son, I think you got your feet slanted a little too much. And he'll just keep his feet slanted. And then when we go see his coach will tell him, hey, your feet are a little too slanted. And that's when he attempts to fix it. But like you said, it's good to have that style as well, based on what you just talked about.
But I think it's also important. And my other tip to parents, stay in your lane.
Right.
Are you going to be dad, or are you going to be the coach?
Gotcha. And
one of the reasons why they really did listen to me, because I wasn't the coach, and I didn't want to be the coach. I wanted to be mom. Right. I want them to say, this is not right, or I'm not feeling right about this. You really don't do that to the coach. The coach says go left, you go left. Right. So I don't want to be the coach. So I think parents need to decide, do you want to be the parent, or do you want to be the coach? I think most on here want to be the parent. Most of the they say that until they see their kid 3-putt. Oh my God. Why did you do that? Didn't you see that hill? Why didn't you? Yeah. That's what they always say.
Ms. Jackson, you remember those 3-putts too?
Oh, please. Brutal. And trying to, good job, kids. That's okay. It'll be okay. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with her? Why am I paying for these lessons?
Oh gosh. Listen, I had that moment on Sunday, but we don't have time to go into it right now. But talk to the parents about helping the journey to be a little smoother, a little easier, because as parents, like what you just talked about, we're investing a lot. We're investing a lot, and sometimes when they're out on the course, they may not be having their best performance, and we're like thinking, oh, am I making a mistake? Am I doing the right thing? Talk to us a little bit about how to mentally.
One thing I say about golf, every day is a new day for everybody. So just because they're having a bad day on Wednesday, Thursday may not be a bad day. Right. So they do have bad days. And believe me, I've seen plenty of bad days. Bless her heart, McKenzie. But she even caught me behind a tree one day. She was playing so bad. I knew she wasn't going to make the cut. hello, Southwest, can you change our flight till tonight? But but you still, I think the important thing is that not be so serious. You need to laugh about some things too. When she fell in the sand trap, I was dying. It was just way too funny. But
she's gonna have to tell us about that one now when she comes up. When I bring her on, she's got to tell us about that one.
But you take it serious and you let them know. Don't be too serious, but don't take it lightly.
Right.
Like you said, this is a major investment. And I want you to have me on again to talk about the investment, the money part of it.
Ooh,
I don't even want
that's a whole nother topic.
Let me just give you a hint.
Okay.
McKenzie went to Q school. Q school is nothing but a tournament, a 4-day tournament. Right. Entry fee, $2,500. Exactly. Ooh. So do you think we're going to take it lightly?
Not at that point.
not at any point. Especially in investment, you want them to do their best. You want them to be their best. You want them to be competitive. I'm not asking them to be Tiger Woods, but I'm asking you to do your best. I want you to practice. I want you to listen to your coach. So all of that went in, and that was, I think you need to establish an expectation. And that's important. Like I said, my kids played every sport. And here's what I told them. You can play any sport you want, and you can drop out of any sport you want except golf.
That's good. I like that.
I don't care if you play basketball, but you cannot drop out of golf. And that's the bottom line.
That's good.
It is a non-negotiable.
And what was your reasoning for telling them that?
Because I knew that they could get a scholarship. I knew that they didn't have to be perfect to get it. Gotcha. If they were good enough, they knew the rules, they could get around the course, they, won a few tournaments here and there, they would get a scholarship. The year that McKenzie got her scholarship, 200 girl scholarships, after they had allotted all the scholarships, 200 girl scholarships went unclaimed. Wow.
So there was a lot of scholarship money out there for the game of golf.
For the game of golf. And I'm going to say, for guys, but girls, absolutely.
Gotcha.
The guys are going to have to play a little bit. They're going to have to really, be competitive with their game.
Good. So talk about your most memorable experiences, in junior golf with McKenzie.
Oh, memorable. There were many, but I guess we went to, she played at Pebble Beach twice. Nice. With a pro, and here it is. She birdied hole number 18 on national TV.
Wow.
That was memorable. We loved it. Nobody saw that she triple bogeyed every other hole, but on national TV, she birdied that hole. So that was a memorable moment. That was awesome.
Nice. And so who are some of your favorite LPGA players or PGA players?
Okay. PGA, I'm Tiger Woods all the way. I don't care what. He's impacted the game to the point where, I cannot be pro Tiger Woods. And in terms of LPGA, I would say Mariah Stackhouse.
Yes, nice.
I'm going with Mariah. I'd love to see her play.
Yes.
I think she'll be around for a long time.
Good.
So that's what I'm going with right now. And before them, I loved watching my kids play golf. And when they played against each other, the whole town of Las Vegas, wanted to gather around because they were hilarious. I called them Cenas and Barina.
Right.
And I used to tell them, you guys, Venus and Marina, they love each other. Even when they play together, they want each other to win. They're so kind. Can you guys please do that? And they were interviewed by the newspaper the next day. The headline in the paper read, "I'll always pray for her to be second." I'm saying, is that you being Venus and Serena?
You see, they have the new movie coming out. Is it Richard?
Yes.
Yes.
That's gonna be interesting and really good. And look at that. He took on a dual role of, coach and dad, but And this is me editorializing. I think it hurt the relationship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit that right there.
There you go. All right. So before I bring McKenzie in here, any last words of advice for our parents tonight to make the journey smoother?
I guess the just to make it smooth, I got 3 things. Know who you are as a parent, and don't, when they start winning or losing, don't change. Don't change. If you're that funny parent, then be funny. But if you're that stoic parent that just never says anything, then be that parent. Don't change while they're out there playing, because they look to you for that consistency. My kids know I'm laughing if they make a ridiculous shot. They already know that. I'm laughing. I'm not that guy. Right. But if you are, this don't change. Don't all of a sudden, want to be the coach or want to be something else. They need for you to be a parent. They need for you to be a parent that they can talk to. Hey, because they know when they miss a shot. My kids, they can't remember where to put the dishes in the kitchen, but they know every hole on the golf court that they played. Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, so that's just be consistent with your emotions.
Right. That's some really good advice, and we appreciate you coming on the podcast tonight. I'm going to bring McKenzie in here, and hey, McKenzie, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, thanks for being on, and thanks for recommending Mom to come on the podcast too.
Yeah, always. She's a hoot.
Well, listen, so this is we got your mom on tonight. What's some of your more fond memories of Mom taking you to tournaments? What do you remember most about that time when you were coming up in the game of junior golf?
Just she's a character. Like she said, she is that parent that is going to laugh, right? Like Good. I remember being at we were in Florida at Doral.
Okay.
And they have the water hole. It's a approach into this island green. I hit my drive in the trees. Okay. And I'm going for it. Like, I've always been that player, right? Like, I'm not laying up.
Right.
I hear her down by the green talking to others. She's loud, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna hit it. Why is she gonna hit it? Like, what's going on? Like, she's like going like going off. And I luckily I hit it on the green. It did hit a board and bounce on the green, but I made it on the green. But that's how she was. She was like that all the time. And like my sister didn't like my mom following her because of that. Because my mom was just very vocal, like on the course.
Yeah.
And it kept me light. It kept me like out of my head. Right. Like she would walk by, she like, do you have any snacks? I'm kind of hungry. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're supposed to be giving me snacks.
Right.
So
right.
like, she just kept it really light for me, who's a very intense, can be in my head type person. So
nice. Because mom was probably saying, now she knows she's supposed to just lay up, not go for it, right?
But I figured she knew what she was doing, but I'm just kind of you're nervous. You're a little apprehensive out there. You know that she knows what she's doing. She's a good golfer. She knows she has great course management. I know it, but for me, heart just couldn't take it.
Yeah, right.
And one thing she always did too, like when we practiced as a family, she always commentated. She was a commentator. So like on the range, she would say on the number 1 tee. Like, so we weren't nervous, going to the first tee, because at the big tournaments, they do announce you. Right. And it's nerve-wracking. So she always did that when we were practicing. And if you missed it, she's like, oh, she killed a spectator, ladies and gentlemen. Like,
yeah, that's okay. That's good. That's keeping it light right there. That's keeping it light. Yeah. So tell us about the sand trap issue. What happened with the sand trap?
There's multiple sand trap issues, because like one time she was talking trash because I hit one short, and when she sees something short, she yells 3 instead of 4. And so she had yelled 3, and as she was doing it, she was, how parents stand on the hill.
Uh-huh.
She fell off the back of the hill.
What?
I was dying laughing. I was on the floor. And because I was like, that's what you get for talking mess while I'm trying to play. And then me, you know, when you're frustrated, and I had hit in the bunker and she was helping me. She was my caddy, and I just tripped and she was laughing. And the other girls were like, are you okay? She's like, she's fine. She's clumsy. Like, and so yeah, that's just how we were out there.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, so McKenzie, you know, we've had you on the podcast before, and I know you and Mom, y'all been doing a lot of podcasts together. How's that experience been like? You know, Mom was doing some things with you and junior golf, and now y'all doing some speaking and blogging and some stuff together. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we're a close family, me, her, and my sister, and we just would get to talking about our experiences and reminiscing. And she's like, I don't remember it like that way. And I was like, well, that's how I remember it. And
Right.
So that's kind of where it came about. Like, we should share our journey, because we can't be the only ones that are like, you know, bickering or having good days or bad days, and kind of just share and get other people's perspective there too. And, you know, you have your ups and your downs, and, you know, and that's just part of the journey. Right. So we just wanted to share that, because it can be entertaining and it can be stressful.
Right. And I think I see Sydnee on here. That's your sister, right?
Yeah.
It's Sydnee. Are you available to come on the podcast? Because she's got a video off. I didn't know if she was available.
Oh.
Tell her next time tell her next time she need to be ready, because you know you always got to be ready just in case.
Yeah.
I can speak. I cannot be seen.
Okay, no problem. So Sydnee, let's get your fondest memory of Mom being out on the golf course with you and McKenzie.
Well, kind of like McKenzie said, I never really wanted my mom to come follow me because she was nerve-wracking. So my fondest memory would have to be like from us practicing and going out and practicing as a family. And it like was definitely a real bonding experience, just to have something that we could do together as a family and be able to have her there and participate and understand the game and understand like some I would say, like in the golf world, you see a lot of fathers out there. It's not always the moms, and the moms aren't always as knowledgeable. So to have a mom that could participate and interact with us was fun.
That's good. That's good. Now let me ask you this: when's the last time all three of y'all played together?
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Since COVID, it's been a while, because it's been hard to get together in the same place at the same time.
Right.
But normally when we're at home for Christmas, we always go play at least a 9 or at the local par 3 course or something.
And they are very competitive. So whenever they're home at the same time, they have a standing. We're going to play. I'm going to beat you. I go as a commentator, and they always want to know, who's your favorite daughter? Am I your favorite? So, you hit it in the trees. You are not my favorite. So this is like for 9 to 18 holes. Am I your favorite? No, I'm sorry. No. You're not my favorite. And, and announcing them and just having a good time. But still, they are playing golf and they're practicing and they're serious about their game. But it's still a good time. And it can be a good time. Golf is one of those sports. It can be a family sport. When you play other sports, you have to, miss the basket a couple of times so your kid doesn't feel, bad. But with golf, every man for himself. You can play your own game, and it's a good family sport. We laugh about it for hours after we come home, just hours.
Well, that's good. It sounds like y'all have a lot of fun on the golf course, laughing. Just have a lot of good fun memories, growing up. So what I want to do, McKenzie and Ms. Jackson, I want to open it up for